So in this really interesting sit down between Rob Hersov and MacG, one of South Africa's biggest podcasters, I will encourage you to go listen to the full version. I have it, documented in the show notes. But Rob Hersov in this excerpt makes a really interesting point about the origins of the ANC and why probably a transmogrification of the ANC into a political party to govern South Africa in a very sustainable manner has been really unsuccessful over the years. It's really brilliant. I thought that I'll share this clip, but I will encourage you also to watch till the end because I have a story told by Oliver Tambo in 1965 about Nelson Mandela, which gives us a picture of what the ANC was designed to be, and that if a party that's leading South Africa was originally designed for something else other than government of the nation in its whole entire essence, then that's a really serious thing to really consider in understanding the difficulties which South Africa is actually facing today. But here's what Rob Hersov has to say about the reason why the ANC government is struggling to govern South Africa.
Where do you think we got it wrong as a country? Because when Mandela got elected in 94, there was so much hope.
There was hope, economic growth, everyone worked together, and there was a rainbow coalition. And I'm hoping in 2024 we can have a rainbow coalition again.
But where did we get it wrong from 94?
It was sort of built into the system of the ANC. The ANC was a liberation party. They were never designed to run a country. They were designed to destroy apartheid and win the war. But then they became the ruling government. And within the ANC, you have communists, trade unionists, capitalists, good people, bad people, lunatics, whatever. It doesn't speak with one voice. It's a chaos. I mean, Kusatu's thinking of pulling out of ANC. It's going to break up. So within the ANC we had the seeds of destruction from the beginning. Mandela then said, no, and he kept the thing going. And then the rot started to set in. And Zuma, everyone took advantage of him. By the way, I learned something very interesting recently. This guy said to me, he said, you white people have got a lot of things wrong, but you got one thing very wrong. Zuma has no money. He didn't steal anything. He let everybody else steal things. He was a disaster as a president. He should go to jail, but he's got no money. The Guptas have taken all the money, the cadres have taken all the money, the BE guys have taken all the money, the
His son is a billionaire.
Yeah, exactly. But he's got Gupta money. He didn't make it himself. And he was on your show, and I watched that.
Oh,
I was going to wear my blue Psycho Bunny shirt, then I realized he'd worn it. I was like, there's no way.
You said that the ANC, you believe, was not fit to run the country, just to liberate the country. So, ideally then, what should have happened in 94? Surely not the National Party or IFP.
No, it was right the ANC did, and it was right what they did in the beginning. They had a rainbow coalition. They had a couple of people from the old world, they had some new young people, they had a good, look at the cabinet, how mixed it.
True, yeah.
It was great. And we had 6-7% economic growth. We were rocking. We should have just kept going like that.
What role did you play during apartheid?
I was a kid, okay, and I was, how old was I? So I did UCT from 1979 to 82. Then I was 2 years infantry officer, South African Defence Force. 83, 84, national service, and I left the country in 85. So basically gone overseas, So I didn't really have a role as such. I was overseas doing my own thing. Yeah.
Didn't you feel at any time that I got to come back, man? This country is like, I don't understand what they're doing.
I kind of felt like I was going to come back at some point, but every time there was a new opportunity presented and I'd move countries and things like that. And then in 2017, I said, I can't stay away anymore. I miss this too much.
How many black people have benefited from what you do?
Now, recently? I wouldn't even know how to count. So I'm building an airport outside of Cape Town. There are going to be thousands of employees, maybe even tens of thousands. My tech companies don't employ a lot of people anyway. I've got a big mining investment company that's hopefully going to do a big deal in Africa. Can't say any more about that. Which will be thousands and be 10 to 20,000 people. And I don't really know black, white, the split, but I don't know how to answer that. So let's say, rough guess, couple of thousand.
Really powerful, really powerful. I don't know what you guys think. I think it's a really, Rob Hersov is really versed. I mean, like when you listen to the whole podcast, it's an invigorating, he speaks like, like this really motivated entrepreneur who really knows what he wants in life and who's really going for his dreams, his visions, and you can feel a passion for South Africa in this, in Rob Hersov. But I think he raised a really interesting point about the origins of the ANC, and I was able to find this introduction by Oliver Tambo to Nelson Mandela's book A Long Walk to Freedom, which was published in 1965, and he actually told the story about Nelson Mandela and their origins of the struggle during the apartheid struggle in South Africa when Nelson Mandela was in Robben Island. So Oliver Tambo's journey begins with a story of defiance and an indomitable spirit of the ANC members at the time in the 1960s. Tambo's words painted a vivid picture of a nation in turmoil where hope flickered like a solitary flame in the darkest of nights. Tambo spoke of Mandela with a reference reserved for legends, recounting the ingenuity of Mandela's M plan, which was a strategy devised by Nelson Mandela that breathed life into the grassroots organizing of the ANC members. With pride shining in his eyes, Tambo described how this simple yet profound strategy empowered the Congress volunteers to engage with the people, the wider people in South Africa, rallying them for action in the face of adversity. Tambo recalls that Mandela's journey was fraught with challenges. Confined to the shadows by government repression, he remained a steadfast beacon of hope, guiding his comrades through the treacherous terrains of resistance. Even as he stood trial facing unjust charges during the treason trial, Mandela's unwavering commitment to freedom echoed the aspirations of a nation yearning to be free. So according to Oliver Tambo, in 1960, the anti-pass protests erupted, culminating in the tragedy of Sharpeville. The ANC's response, a national protest strike, was met with harsh reprisals, marking the beginning of a dark chapter in South Africa's history. But amidst the chaos, Mandela's strategic brilliance came true. His M plan flourished in the shadows, a testament to his visionary leadership. So Tambo argues that the ANC retreated underground, but Mandela remained the guiding force, orchestrating the movement with precision and determination. And so in May of 1961, South Africa stood on the brink of a transformation. Yet, as Tambo solemnly noted, the republic was built on exclusion of its people. Mandela's decision to become a fugitive known as the Black Pimpernel was the bold act of defiance against injustice. Living in the shadows, Mandela became a symbol of hope and resistance, inspiring hope in the hearts of the oppressed. His leadership sparked acts of sabotage that shook the foundations of the apartheid government, heralding the birth of Umkhonto we Sizwe, the spear of the nation. And as Tambo concluded this story, his voice carried the weight of history. Mandela's legacy, he declared, was not just one of struggle, but of resilience and unity and the unbreakable spirit of a people determined to break free from the darkest kinds of oppressions. And so we see here the character of the ANC government at the time when it was formed. So it heralded this consciousness of, defiance and a pursuit for freedom. But I don't know how much of leadership and governing, especially a rainbow nation as Mandela introduced by 1994, was really spread around. How much of that rainbow consciousness was really imbibed by most of the members of the ANC, and especially this the MK party now, which Zuma is actually assuming leadership of, the Umkhonto we Sizwe, which imbibed a consciousness of more defiance and the pursuit of freedom for the oppressed, having to suddenly embrace a uniting trajectory, assuming a rainbow consciousness, I presume would have been really challenging. And probably this is what the ANC government is still facing at the moment, having to reconcile that meeting point between between representing a voice that fought, a voice whose origin was guided by the fight for the oppressed, and now having to represent a government that seems to, that seems to portray itself as one that reconciles all of the parts, of this oppressed, exclusive state at the time of apartheid, but now having to do that in a way that then brings all together, all races, all the peoples together in one united entity, while while in the process still trying vividly to reconcile and uproot these origins, the character of its origins, which has been, defense and pursuit of freedom for the oppressed. So, according to Rob Hersov here, the struggle with the ANC seems to be how much the ANC has uprooted, the roots and the consciousness of its origins, and how much it has imbibed the trajectory of the Rainbow Nation as introduced by Mandela. This is where the struggle lies, I think, if I'm hearing Rob Hersov correctly. And this is where the ANC would have to really, work hard to probably prove that it's the chosen party for the future. Otherwise, there would still be these voices from different factions of the populace of South Africa trying to achieve or trying to really represent its own parts, because South Africa is made up of multiple parts, moving parts that make a whole. So this has just been a lot of information all over the place, but I really enjoyed this speech from Rob Hersov, and I don't know what you guys think about his point about why the ANC is struggling, but share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please share and like and subscribe, because that's the way you support Kwazemi as a channel, an Afrocentric channel, where we try to understand deeper issues in African history and hopefully develop a collective intelligence on how we wish to build the Africa we want to see as people of Africa. See you in the next one.